It's Monday, which means it's time for the weekend box office report brought to you by AMC Theatres. Boo, a Madea Halloween took the #1 spot for a second week in a row, pulling in $16.7 million and bringing its domestic total to $52 million. Sony's Inferno, the third film in the Robert Langdon series, fell $10 million shy of expectations, pulling in $15 million for a #2 finish. Jack Reacher Never Go Back took the #3 spot in its second weekend, delivering $9.6 million with a domestic total of $39.7 million. The Accountant took the #4 spot with $8.5 million, bringing its domestic total to $61.3 million. And rounding out the top 5 was Ouija Origin of Evil, pulling in $7.1 million for a domestic total of $24.6 million. Mark, thoughts on the weekend box office?
I'm actually happy about it, Ashley, because it shows that word of mouth means something, and that just because you put a huge star on a poster doesn't necessarily mean that the movie is going to be #1 at the box office. I love Tom Hanks. Huge fan of Felicity Jones. I'm a big fan of Ron Howard directing movies. It did not work in Inferno for me. It felt like just a tired retread of what we already seen in these Dan Brown novel-turned movies already. So the fact that something like Boo can come out, it's Halloween weekend. People want to celebrate Halloween. I understand why it's #1. And Inferno, do a better job, and maybe you would have been at #1.
Here's the funny thing about Inferno. I completely agree. I thought Inferno was the best of the 3 Da Vinci Code movies, but that ain't saying much because I really do not like the first 2 Da Vinci Code movies at all. And I thought it was a very odd decision to go ahead and make this third one. I didn't think there was much public interest there for it, and sure enough, there's not. It makes $15 million. A movie starring Tom Hanks, directed by Ron Howard, based on a best-selling book, makes $15 million. But here's the funny thing about it, too. It has made $132 million internationally. Combined, it has made $147 million already.
Wow.
With only $15 million in the domestic market. This movie's almost broken even already.
Right.
And so on the surface, it looks like an incredible failure, but it's literally made 10 times as much money in the international market. That is an incredibly rare thing. Why it's happened with this movie? Tom Hanks probably is the thing, and it's built off international best-selling book. But it's a really interesting thing to take a look at. Also pretty excited to see that, not excited, but it's interesting to see that Jack Reacher, it fell like almost 60%, which is not surprising because not a great movie. The Accountant only dropped another 37%, which is great. So I'm happy to see. It still has not made as much money as that movie deserves to make, but it's nice to seeing it plug along. Anyway, what stands out to you about this week's box office?
Well, for me, Boo being the #1 again in a second week, and that's a franchise killer for Dan Brown's Da Vinci Code. That's it. That's a wrap. They're like, look, we're barely gonna get our money back. We're done. I think they waited way too long. The first movie came out, what was it, 2003? Second movie came out in 2006, and then what? Now we're 10 years later. That's why I think it's like people just forgot about it.
I don't think they waited too long. I don't think they should have done it at all.
Well, yeah.
It did feel like Satan had a contract with Ron Howard and Tom Hanks, and he's like, hey, you guys got to give me my 3 movies. Because I understand why you make the Da Vinci Code and even Angels and Demons, but there was never like the critical reaction to those movies the same way there was to the books that everybody loved reading. So I don't know why you make the movie, but it would, I guess if you were going to open Inferno, you did it on the right weekend. It just didn't pan out, at least here in the States. Very interested to hear those international numbers, though, because that's what we see more and more is studios catering to an international box office, which is the right play. I mean, look, if your movie's going to make money anywhere, then that's why you make the movie. Just because it didn't work well here in the States doesn't mean it didn't work for everybody else.
I think I was going to say I think it's 2006 then 2009, but still they waited too long.
I cannot think of a movie off the top of my head that has that much disparity, like a big Hollywood movie that has that much disparity between its domestic box office versus its international. Like I can't think of a movie.
I mean, Warcraft shocked me. With how well
was
it
a
did
big
in China.
one. Yeah, that one did really well
Plus,
too.
people should never underestimate Madea again. I think a lot of people are like,
never underestimate Tyler Perry, man.
Yeah, put that in 4,000
Has there been a Madea
screens.
Christmas? I think there's been a Madea Christmas. I don't know about a Madea Easter or a 4th of July, but I think you could start seeing Madea celebrate more holidays.
I'm going to tell you right now, this is, if you're listening, Tyler, here's your next gold idea. Madea Super Bowl. I'm telling you right now, that movie makes bank.